Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new Sacred Union Energy Update where we take a look at what is going on in your connection. So before we get started, I have some things that I want to share with you, some personal items of note. And here's where I get raw and vulnerable again. So as you guys know, some of you guys know, I don't read for myself. When I do readings, I read for the collective, and I'm part of the collective that I read for. So when I read for you guys, I'm actually getting guidance for myself as well as getting guidance for you, because we are part of this segment of the collective, if you're resonating with my readings. But I don't read for myself and for my personal situation. I haven't in a very long time. I haven't gotten a reading in a very long time because I've just been trusting the journey and letting it unfold. There has been some changes within my connection that has led me to wanting to confirm what I've been feeling inside and get some clarity and get some guidance. That is what readings are for. That's what personal readings are for. If you guys get personal readings with me, you know that I don't just do connection check-ins. I go deep with your own spiritual journey, your own soul growth. That's where we usually start. We start with you, because that is what this journey is about. Even though you have a divine counterpart, even though you have a sacred partner, your journey through ascension is about your soul growth, is about you. And that's really, really important to understand and feel into. You can't focus on the other person. You can't focus on your sacred partner to the point where you take that focus off of yourself, because it is about you. Now you are one, but it's important to remember that you're never separate, because you are that one, because you have that connection, because you have that love, soul deep bond that exists between you. It will always exist between you, no matter what is going on in the physical 3D world, in the physical 3D reality. Now, we want to know what's going on in 3D reality because that's part of our human existence. And we can't separate the human from the spiritual either, because it's one and the same. If you separate the two, then you're just creating duality. We talked about that on the daily energy draws this week. You're having a human experience in a physical body from the point of contact of soul, remembering that you are first and foremost soul, but you are still part of this world. You are still part of this earth plane. You are still having that human experience. And that human experience is made up of whatever it is that you want to manifest for yourself. It's made up of businesses and career and family and home and relationships, partnerships, because that is all how you grow and how you expand through that human experience. So we can't ignore the human experience, and we can't ignore what it is that we want for ourselves, what it is that we want to manifest. Again, that is how you grow, and you grow exponentially through your relationships, through your partnerships, through relationship with another person, especially with your sacred partner. That is how you expand, especially with your sacred partner, because they are mirrors to you. They are showing you where you have more growing to do, where you have more healing to do, where you have more expanding to do, where you should put your focus. That's really what they're teaching you. And when you go into physical separation, it's just so that you can put the focus back on yourself and your journey, because maybe you're putting the focus too much on the exterior, and it all comes from within. Love comes from within. And when you anchor into your heart space, you feel that love within. Really important to remember that as we integrate that and anchor into that knowing, anchor into that faith. But we get caught up in the 3D, right? We do. We are human, and, because we are human, we are fallible. But it's important to remember to keep coming back to that place of love, to keep coming back to that place of awareness, to keep coming back to that place of consciousness, where we remember that we are soul having the human experience. We can't ignore the human experience, but we can't ignore soul either. And so it really is about creating a balance. There's, give me the word dynamic. So a dynamic where there's balance between the two. That's what it truly is about. And as you shift into fifth dimensional consciousness, what it is about is anchoring in that soul self into the physical vessel, into the physical body. Because fifth dimensional consciousness, remember, is just a shift in consciousness. It's a shift in perception. It's a shift in your vibration. but you are still human incarnate. You're still having a very physical human experience. But your outside world changes as the world within you changes. That's fifth dimensional consciousness. The world without reflects the world within. And the love without reflects the love within. So it's okay if we get tripped up sometimes in the physical, but always remember to come back to the heart space. Always remember to come back to the soul self. Always remember that you are soul experiencing that human existence in the human physical vessel. So I've been getting tripped up a little bit. And it's been difficult. So I don't do readings for myself. So I sought out a trusted reader. I don't follow many readers anymore. I don't even watch readings anymore, just because I want to have my own journey unfold organically, naturally, as it's meant to. I want to keep following where my heart is leading me. So I don't really watch a whole lot of readings anymore. But this is one that I trust because it's more about ascension. And so I got the reading back last night, and to be honest with you guys, it triggered the crap out of me. It confirmed. I didn't mention anything about divine counterparts or anything like that, but it confirmed that my counterpart is my counterpart, which I've always known within myself. But it tripped me up because there is a question of partnership. There's a question of a coming together in the physical. And now energy can shift, and what readers do is they pick up on the current energies. And what I realized when that triggered me, especially, it's funny, she said something about how he's not physically attracted to you. He's attracted to you, and has thought about commitment, but there's not, he feels the soul deep connection more than he feels a physical attraction. And well, I know that there's physical attraction, that's been admitted, but it triggered me because I realized, wow, that's showing me where I'm still feeling lack within myself. I'm still not seeing myself as attractive. I'm still doubting myself as special. I'm still not seeing myself through the eyes that I see others. It's very easy to see others in their love. I'm getting choked out, excuse me. It's very easy to see others in their in their love, in their divinity. It's very easy for me to see the light in others. It's not so easy for me to see the light in myself. That is something I have been healing and working through, especially these past 6 months. And if you can tell, I'm very emotional because it is still triggering something within me right now. And so I am so grateful for that reading because it showed me where I still have work to do on myself, where I still need to go within and focus on my self-love and my journey. And it also showed me how proud I am of myself for how far I have come. 2 years ago, as open as I am, I've been writing, personal blogs for the past 10 years. I am a very open book when it comes to my life and my heart. That's important to me. Being expressive is important to me. There are parts of my life that I do not share. There are parts of my life that are sacred, that I do keep private. But when I feel like it's going to be of benefit to somebody else for their journey, especially to help them feel like they're not alone, I am an open book. I share, because that is very important to me. I know the power of that. Somebody once shared their story and it helped to save my life, quite physically, quite literally. And I know the power that sharing and being open can have, because that is what it's all about. It is about connecting with each other. And you can't have connection unless you connect. You can't have intimacy unless you're willing to be vulnerable. I learned that from very early on. And I've also learned to keep certain parts of my journey sacred and special to me. But when I'm called to, when I feel it within my heart, I share. That's where I have been raw and vulnerable on this channel. It's not coming from a place of ego. It's coming from my heart center. It's coming from a place within myself where I am called to share, to help others along their journey. That's part of my mission. That's part of my purpose. And so when when I say that there's more healing work to do, there's always going to be healing work. There's always going to be expansion. There's always going to be evolution. And what this reading did was it showed me the gaps. It showed me where I still have more work to do, where I still need to work on loving myself deeper. Because again, it's very easy for me to love other people. It's very easy for me to be open with other people. It hasn't always been so easy for me to receive, and I'm learning that too, but it's been very easy for me to see the light and the love and the divinity in other people. And I feel like I have just, over the past few months, been really stepping into my power, seeing the divinity within myself, and creating boundaries where I don't overgive, don't overextend, where I am asserting my needs and what I want for my life as well, manifesting for my life as well, because I truly do want the best and highest good for all. And the best and highest good for all, it has to start with me. It has to start with you. Give me one second. So this really is a soul growth journey. This really is about you. And yes, we always say this, your sacred partner is a part of that, because your sacred partner is a part of you. There is such divine love between the two of you. Can you imagine being on the other side and choosing to physically separate in a lifetime in order to heal and go through the experiences that you do, and then reunite in order to heal each other and grow together? Can you imagine the love that that takes on a soul level? To say, I'm going to trigger you. I'm going to show you all the places where you have to heal. Can you imagine the amount of unconditional love that that takes? To really see the other person beneath all of the masks, beneath all of the behaviors, and do not accept the poor behavior in the 3D. If there's poor behavior, that's where you have to love yourself even more and have those boundaries and say, no, this is toxic, this is unhealthy, I do not accept this. Because what you're doing is you're telling that person that you do not accept that from them. Because that unhealthy behavior is where they have to heal. That's where they have to grow. That's where they have to evolve and to expand. Because that unhealthy behavior is showing them their wounding and where they have to heal. But can you imagine the amount of love between the two of you where you are willing to be vulnerable with each other and take down those masks and say, I want to heal because I want the best and highest good for me, and I want the best and highest good for you, even if that means parting ways, even if that means we're not good together. Can you imagine the amount of love that exists in that space? That is what holding space is. It's not about waiting. It's about loving each other so much that you're willing to heal. That's what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is loving each other so much that you acknowledge the healing together. You acknowledge what has transpired, but you say, I'm going to heal beyond this. We're going to heal this together. The amount of love that exists there. The 3D can really trip us up because the 3D can be a very difficult experience. And that's where we have to time and time and time again return to our own heart space, return to our own higher heart, our higher selves, the love within, and keep remembering that that is what is real. That everything else is just the illusion. Everything else is just the reflection of that. To time and time again, look at each other through that lens of love. And really see beyond the physical vessel, really see beyond the masks that we wear, really see the light that is within, really see the soul that is within. And we do this not just with our sacred partner, but with everyone. Everyone is soul. Everyone is soul. Everyone is playing a part on this planet. And there are some who, if we're going to go down this road, Spirit wants me to go down this road, there are some who are less than pleasant, we'll say that, who we might use the term evil. I don't feel like Spirit likes to use that word evil, but you might use that word evil. But everybody is playing a role. It's just the 3D versus the higher. And we have to pull back and look at it from the higher perspective. We have to, because that 3D, that's just the play. That's just the play. Shakespeare. Guys, I'm an English major, so Shakespeare is my jam. All the world's a stage and everyone must play their part, right? He wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong. The 3D is the stage, and every soul is playing their part for the growth and evolution of each other. That's how interconnected we are. And now we're actually moving into a different level of consciousness, one of peace, one of balance, one of harmony. But everyone has played their part and is playing their part in that ascension, in that mass awakening. It doesn't mean you ignore the 3D. It doesn't mean that you ignore the collective reality. But it's all about balance. It's all about going within and discerning the truth for yourself, seeing the soul perspective. Doesn't mean that you don't get angry at the current reality. It doesn't mean that you don't get angry at the injustice. Doesn't mean that you don't hurt. Doesn't mean that there isn't pain. Doesn't mean that there isn't fear or outrage. But you transmute that into action. You transmute that into creating a better life for you and for others. You transmute that into love and compassion. There's no light without the dark. We have to acknowledge the dark. We have to acknowledge the shadows, because the shadows are where we have to do our work. That's where we as light workers do our work. But we transmute that as light workers. We shine light on those shadows through that lens of love. And that's as a whole, that's within our sacred connection, and that's within ourselves. First and foremost, most importantly, within ourselves. So I really do thank that reader for that reading. I take what resonates and I disregard the rest. There are some things that just didn't resonate with my truth, and so I disregard that. But for the most part, it triggered in me where I still have shadow work to do, where I still have healing work to do. And I knew that. And part of the reason why I got a reading was because I felt a little bit stagnant. I knew that I had more soul growth to do. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do. And so that's part of the reason why I got a reading. And yeah, it showed me. It showed me a lot more self-love, a lot more self-compassion, a lot more recognizing myself where I wasn't before. And that means appreciating myself where I wasn't before. And I actually realized that I was seeking validation from my counterpart because I wanted him to appreciate me. I wanted him to see me, but I wasn't really seeing myself. I wasn't seeing the heart of myself. I wasn't seeing the light in myself. It's very hard to do. It's easy for me to see the shadows of myself. It's easy for me to see my flaws and my faults and where I have to do work. It's not so easy for me to see the love in myself. It's not so easy for me to see my heart. It's not so easy for me to believe that I could be special. And it's so easy for me to see how everybody else is special, but for myself, that has been very, very difficult. And that's where I am now, is I am learning to love myself in that way and see myself in that way and appreciate myself in that way. And I am very grateful, despite what we've been through in the physical, because there's been a lot of unhealthiness in my relationship. But I'm very grateful on a higher level for those lessons that I've learned on this journey. Because loving myself has been the greatest transformation I've ever experienced. To be where I am, to feel like I'm in my power, not backing down. It's Queen of Wands energy. Expressing myself, but taking action and not backing down. Being in that confidence. Being aware of who I am, knowing who I am, feeling self-assured in who I am. That's been the greatest transformation for me, and I am so grateful for that. It's been a long road to get here, even before ascension. I've been walking this journey for a very long time, and even before I met my divine counterpart, I was learning that. But this is accelerated. This is an accelerated course of study. And I'm very grateful for all the lessons and the transformation that has brought me here. Even though there has been a lot of pain, when I look back at the start of this journey with my sacred partner, and even before that, when I first had my spiritual awakening back in, God, who knows. I want to say when I went to a writing retreat in France, I spent a month in France on my own. That was like a spiritual pilgrimage for me. It really was. I wasn't there to write. That was the excuse I think I needed to get there, but that was really a spiritual journey for me. Even meeting a psychic medium who did some Reiki on me, that was really eye-opening for me. That was really the start of, well, I've always been spiritual, but that was really the start of my true awakening, I should say. And when I look back at who I was, even just a few weeks ago, even just a few months ago, I'm very grateful for this journey and the transformation that has taken place. And I hope that you're proud of yourselves too. This journey is not easy. It's not easy. And we like to put a lot of emphasis on our sacred partner, but really look at yourself. Really look at how far you've come. Really look at how much you've transformed. And really look at how much your life is transforming as a result. Yeah, it might look like things are crumbling around you, but that tower has to fall so you can build that new foundation for yourself, your best and highest timeline, your best and highest self. The only thing that's crumbling away is the masks. The only thing that's falling away is the old versions of yourself. And it's painful when we resist that, but we have to let it. We have to let it. And we have to be aware and keep coming back to that place of love. Keep coming back to the present moment. Not worrying about the future, just worrying about the next step. Just worrying about the next step, wondering about the next step, being led down the next step. I mentioned this in a client reading, how Frozen 2 is really an ascension movie, where Elsa and Anna are on a journey back to themselves. And Elsa especially, she hears the calling of a voice and she doesn't know where it's coming from, and it takes the form of her mother, but it's really her. It's really her calling her to her power, calling her to her mission, to her purpose, to herself. And it's funny because even there's a song that Anna sings where it's, I just have to take the next right step. You can't worry too much. Don't go too far out. Bring yourself back to the present moment. Keep being aware of yourself in the present moment. That's how you change the patterns. That's how you change the thought processes. That's how you level up in your beliefs. That's how you shift in consciousness. That's how you change your life. Keep coming back to the love. All right. We are going to do a reading. So, thank you guys for hanging in there with me. I am very blessed for this community and to have this platform in which to express myself and share my story, share parts of myself as I am, on this journey right there along with you. I am right there along with you, learning right there along with you. I do consider myself a guide and a teacher, but that's just because that is where my soul has led me. But I learn from you guys just as much. My Divine Masculine used to say the teacher is the student is the teacher. And it's so true. It's so true. We are both. We are both. So thank you for teaching me. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your community. Thank you for your love and for continuing to hold space for me as we hold space for each other, as we grow on this journey together. All right, let's see counterparts. What's going on with this connection? What's going on with this connection? I think we're going to have a live chat tomorrow, Thursday. Keep an eye on the channel. I'll make sure that I post well in advance when that is going to be. Make sure you stay tuned to Instagram and Facebook as well, because I'll post on there as well. Possibly a live chat tomorrow evening. I'm not sure yet. We'll see how I'm feeling. And possibly also an Ascension energy update. I want to see what's going on for Ascension as a whole as well. But we're going to get into Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine today and see what's going on. So, Spirit, it's too many cards. Is there anything, what do you need us to know for this sacred union, this sacred partnership? What do you need us to know for this sacred union, this sacred partnership? Oh, for heaven's sake. You guys saw how that flew out too, like it wanted to be seen. Okay, so we have Know Your Worth. And we have Truth Transcends Illusion. This is just validation of everything that we talk about, you guys. Remember when I said that I share my story, but it's because I'm called to share? I feel it in my heart space. I feel it in my solar plexus. It rises from within me, what I'm meant to share on this journey and on my channel with you guys. There's no coincidence that I share my personal story as I do, because that's how we relate to each other. That's how we connect with each other. There's a purpose for that. And Spirit is reminding me of that right here, because this is everything that we just talked about. As soon as I hit record, I start channeling. And what comes through from me comes through from my soul, comes through from my heart. And it's meant to be shared. And this is what it is all about. Know your worth. Trust in your soul growth journey. Focus back on yourself. Focus on the love within yourself. And truth transcends illusion. You know in your heart that the 3D is just the physical representation of what you hold within yourself. So trust in this. 22 right there. All right. Oh, man. Spirit is something. Okay. So we're just going to get some 2 of Cups on the bottom. Can you believe that? Look at that. I don't remember the last time I used this deck. When was the last time I used this deck? Oh, boy. Oh, an Ace of... Oh, my God. You guys, Ace of Cups and 2 of Cups. I mean, come on. Ace of Cups and 2 of Cups. Self-love. No, self-love. Filling up your cup. Loving yourself. To love another. To love another. To see each other. You see how they're facing each other? To see each other fully. To see each other in that love. Beautiful. Okay. Spirit, what do we need to know about these sacred partners? What do you need us to know today? I don't know if this is a personal message that's coming in or if this is for the collective, but I'm going to say it anyway. When I was in meditation prior to coming on, they said, don't watch readings at night, like collective readings at night. Because at nighttime is when you are at your most vulnerable. At nighttime is when you are at your most connected. At nighttime is when you are connecting to source energy, because there's a lot of stimulation that happens during the daytime. But at nighttime, it's that time for reflection. It's that time for quiet, especially as you're getting ready for bed. That's when your connection is very, very strong. And there can be a lot of confusion in collective readings when you're meant to go within. You're meant to trust what you're feeling within. And I'm saying that to clients so much lately, and I'm saying that on here on the channel so much lately, you have to trust yourself. You have to trust your own path. Even over any psychic, even over what I'm saying to you, trust in the resonance of what you're feeling within your heart. Trust in your own intuition. Trust in your own path. We are part of a collective, but we also have individual paths, and you must learn to trust your own intuition, learn to trust your own heart and where you're being led. Learn to listen to the soul of yourself and spirit, because that's one and the same. Spirit is speaking to you. The universe is speaking to you. So trust, and have faith in that. Learn to tune into that. Learn to tune into yourself. And so especially at night, your soul is still very active at night and trying to speak to you without the outside influence and stimulation that occurs during the daytime. So it's a time for reflection. It's a time for quietness. It's a time for solitude. It's a time for going within. So no, cut out distractions. Cut out collective readings if you can. Cut out, like television and even music. Make it quiet music. Make it like meditative music, because it is a time for winding down, so to speak, but truly it's about going within and listening to the soul of yourself. Okay? So I don't know if that was a personal message. I don't know if that's for somebody specific. I don't know if that's for me. I'm going to obviously take that to heart and practice that. But do take that as it resonates for you. Disregard it if it doesn't. Okay. Spirit, what do you want us to... I'm going to take that one. What do you want us to know? Queen of Wands. Oh, what did I mentioned Queen of Wands, didn't I? That's Divine Feminine. Divine Feminine energy there. And the Emperor. Yeah. And the Sun. Wow. Balancing out your energies. It feels like Divine Feminine with the Queen of Wands, the Emperor, Divine Masculine, and the Sun. Illumination coming in, clarity coming in, and a balancing that is happening. I usually don't like the Two of Pentacles. It has an energy of juggling. It has an energy of feeling ungrounded and very untethered. A lack of certainty, indecision. It's that do I, don't I don't know. It's that lackadaisical, nonchalant energy, and I usually do not like it. This feels like it's coming into balance. You see how the water is quieting in the background there? Oh, and there's my union energy. You see how the water is calm in the background? Typically, the Two of Pentacles, the waves are rocky. The boats are on, like, the waves are cresting and the boats are on top of that, and it feels like it's a storm. The water's calming here. There's a sense of balance that's coming in. There's a sense of illumination that's coming in, clarity that's coming in. And I like how it's the two of you, almost like your inner children are represented here, holding hands. This is Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine energy. Divine Feminine, you are in your power. This is like Empress energy, but Queen of Wands is coming out to show you that you are in your confidence, you are sexy, you are powerful, you are sensual, you are passionate and loving. With the root chakra here, you are also grounded and very stable and secure in yourself, feeling safe within yourself. And I love how it's a black cat, almost like the panther. This is you in your power. And look how confident she is. Look how self-assured she is. She knows where she's going. She's taking that wand and she's taking action for her life. She's looking ahead. She's not looking back. She's looking forward with certainty, with confidence, with that sense of herself, with her sense of knowing. Just pure confidence. Just pure confidence, that crown regally on her head. She knows that she's a goddess. She knows who she is. She knows the power within. Divine Masculine, Emperor energy here. I feel like this is interesting energy. This energy of balancing out, this is what's coming forth for Divine Masculine. I feel like Divine Masculine is starting to rise into this Emperor energy. The Emperor can be sometimes cold, can be sometimes in the distorted energy. The distorted masculine energy can be manipulative, can be not willing to take action, indecisive. They can be in a place of control, that ego control. Can be very imbalanced, can be very stoic, can be very cold. Here I feel like that's starting to change with the influence of divine feminine on one side and clarity, illumination on the other. The sun coming out. This is what divine masculine is striving for. They are wanting and recognizing that they want their happiness. The sun is the happiest card in the deck. They're wanting this happiness. They're wanting a better life for themselves. And part of the reason why they were in the distorted masculine energy was because they didn't believe that it was possible for them. They didn't believe in their own self-worth. They didn't believe that they could create this for themselves. Divine feminine has been leading the way, and her energy has been helping divine masculine to see that worth. Her compassion, her love, her giving nature has been helping divine masculine to recognize the light within themselves. And so I feel like this is divine masculine that is starting to rise, to remove the ego, feel into the heart space, and lead from the heart. Lead from a place of inner wisdom. Lead from a place of authority to take action. This feels like it's becoming more grounded, feels like it's becoming more confident, feels like he's becoming ready. It's almost like, this is what they're showing me. They're showing me, it's like a prince who is afraid of taking on the responsibilities of being king. And so, you know the stories, you know the fairy tales, all the stuff about the prince who's just like a playboy and nonchalant and just doesn't care. And then he's thrust into the role of king and he doesn't want it. He tries to thwart his responsibility. That's this energy here. Or that's what the divine masculine was. I feel like divine masculine is recognizing the authority within themselves. They're recognizing that being king has its rewards. Being king comes with, yes, it comes with a certain sense of responsibility. You can't be immature and be a king. But being king comes with creation, comes with the power to rule yourself. We're not talking about ruling over others. We're not talking about the ego control of controlling other people. So maybe this metaphor is a little bit not right, but roll with me because this is what Spirit's giving me, so roll with it. This is divine masculine recognizing that they have the power to create their own kingdom within themselves. They have the power to rule side by side with their divine feminine to create the life and happiness that they want for themselves, that they had always envisioned for themselves. That they have the power and the authority over their own life. Where before maybe other people were ruling over them, where maybe they were sacrificing themselves too much out of expectation or obligation or duty or fear or lack mindset, false beliefs, false control. Now they're taking control of themselves, but not from an egoic place. Not from the mind space. They're leading from the heart. They're trusting their emotions now, allowing themselves to feel, and that's part of the coldness that's being broken. Remember when I talked about being vulnerable? Divine masculine is learning what it means to be vulnerable and how to connect, and they're pointing me to, you see we have the root chakra again represented here by the red. His tunic underneath is purple. That's the crown chakra. That's the bridging of the two. And if you listen to Monday's daily energy draw especially, we talked about what it is to bridge being human and being spiritual. Grounding yourself in your physical 3D reality as a human in your human existence, but also recognizing that you are soul and that you are connected to yourself, to your higher self, to source energy, and to your counterpart through your crown chakra, through your spirituality. You can't be so focused on the physical that you forget your higher self, that you don't listen to your emotions, that you block out your emotions, that you block out what it is that you're feeling, that you block out the love within your heart, especially the love for themselves and for their divine counterpart, because it is one and the same. As you're blocking out your own feminine energy, As they're blocking out their divine feminine energy within them, they're blocking out their divine feminine. We've talked about that on the channel as well. They're learning to get in touch with their divine feminine energy. They're learning to get in touch with their emotion within themselves, the love within themselves. And as they do that, they're also recognizing that, yes, they're experiencing a human existence, but that is not all there is. The material, the physical, is not all there is. It's all about bridging the two. It's all about this balance. And what I like about this is it's not so uneven. You see how it's, okay, so you see how it's a little bit uneven, just a little bit? It's not like up and down the way some Two of Pentacles can be. This is evening out. This is this energy that I'm getting here. Divine Masculine is rising into this King energy, into this Emperor energy. Is rising. It is a process, but he is rising. He is transforming into this just beautiful energy. When I look at this card, it's just such an overwhelming energy of authority for yourself. Feeling the love for yourself, not blocking out the love, and through that love, you take control of your life. Through that love, you take authority for yourself. Through that love, you realize that you have the power to create your current reality. You have the power to create your happiness. You have the power to create the next right step for yourself towards this happiness, towards this sun. This is clarity that is washing over Divine Masculine. And you see how it's balancing out? This is the balancing of the feminine and masculine energies within them. Their feminine energy within them is rising. And where they might have looked at feminine energy as distorted before, they might have seen, because of possible past relationships or family members or just society as a whole, they might have seen the distorted feminine energy and said, well, that's the feminine energy. I don't want any part of that. That's where they shut down because of past heartbreak, because of their past experiences. But what's actually happening is through Divine Feminine being in her power, which is divinity, which is true unconditional love, which is true divine feminine, not distorted feminine energy, but true divine feminine energy. Divine Masculine is seeing what true divine feminine energy is. And so as they open up their eyes to that, they're starting to see that within themselves and feel that within themselves and balance out the feminine and masculine energies within themselves. And as they do that, they come into balance within themselves and rise into that divine masculine energy. Transform into that divine masculine energy. Anything else we need to know? Yeah. I'm not going to take over that. Yeah, they're feeling it. See, they're feeling it. They're feeling their emotions and allowing themselves to feel their emotions and moving through the process of understanding what it means to express their emotions. Let's get one more card here. Five of Cups, Five of Pentacles. Oh, beautiful. Change. They just gave me that energy of change. Okay. And it's because they're going within. It's because they are truly, finally taking that time to reflect and go within. The Hermit energy here. To trust in their own wisdom, their heart chakra is activating. See the energy in that card? Their heart chakra is activating. Heart expansions is what I'm hearing coming in, especially with all the light codes that are coming in to the planet at this time. So 5 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands. 5 of Cups and 5 of Pentacles, 5 number of change. This is what's happening for them at this time. I feel like if you can get a close-up of that, you see how it's like it's supposed to be snow. But I feel like that's actually light codes that are coming in and that they're feeling this. They're moving through periods of regret. They're moving through periods of remorse about the past. And this feels like it's past with their Divine Feminine, and it also feels like it's a past for their own life. They're really looking at their own life up until where they are now in their current reality and asking themselves, what have they created? What have they destroyed? What do they want to create? What do they want to leave behind? They're really going through this cycle of self-reflection. They might be putting their head down and withdrawing a little bit in order to reflect, in order to go within and understand this. And what they're understanding is what remains is this love. Remember, we had the Two of Cups in the beginning. What remains is this love, is this counterpart energy, this sacred partnership. They're starting to recognize what it means to love in this sacred partnership, what it means to love their divine feminine, what this connection truly means to them, because they're understanding what it means to love themselves, to honor themselves. Five of Pentacles, it's an energy, we've been getting this for maybe half a year at least. As they've abandoned their divine feminine, as they've been abandoned themselves by other people, they've only abandoned themselves by not being in their power, by not being in control of themselves, by not feeling their emotions. When they shut down their emotions, they were only abandoning themselves even further because they didn't allow themselves to feel and to heal. And so what's happening is they're starting to come out of the cold. Remember, we talked about the Emperor being a little bit cold and stoic. As they're starting to open up to their, is that King of Cups on the bottom? No. As they're starting to open up to their emotions again, as they're starting to go within, they're recognizing where they were abandoning themselves. We've been talking about abandonment heavily on the channel because abandonment wounds are coming back to the surface again. I'm going to link some readings in the description box below if you missed them. We talked about this in the Divine Masculine reading, in the Divine Feminine reading that we just did, and in the Revisiting Abandonment Healing channeling that we did. So do make sure, if this is resonating with you, that you check out all of those readings because those are timeless. There will be messages there for you about abandonment. This is what's happening. You're healing those abandonment wounds, those layers that have been coming up to the surface. Recognizing that you were just abandoning yourself, leaving yourself out in the cold, neglecting yourself, especially Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine. Take it as it's resonating for you because you have that masculine energy within you. So as Divine Masculine was abandoning you, leaving you out in the cold, neglecting this connection, neglecting this relationship, not appreciating this, where were you not appreciating yourself? Where were you neglecting yourself? Where were you too focused on your Divine Masculine that you weren't focused on yourself, where you were abandoning yourself? Divine Masculine is realizing this as well, that where he was abandoning his Divine Feminine, he was only abandoning the feminine nature, the emotional nature within himself. And that's what's coming into balance because you hold both energies. You hold both energies. You are not separate. The Divine Feminine energy within the Divine Masculine. Let me start over. The feminine energy within the Divine Masculine is you, Divine Feminines. The masculine energy within you, Divine Feminine, is your Divine Masculine. You are one energy. You are one, embodied in two different physical vessels. But you are one, and it's all about coming into that harmony. And you can't do that in a physical relationship or partnership unless you do that within yourself first. You have to come into union within yourself. You have to balance those energies within yourself. So that's where you mirror each other. That's where you transform. As you recognize that your Divine Masculine was abandoning you, where were you abandoning yourself? As you heal that within yourself, you're healing that within the connection. It is one. It is one. There is no separation. And we don't just mean there is no separation in the physical because of the love that exists between you two, because of the soul bond that binds you two together, that you're corded together. There is no separation with these energies. And I know it's really difficult to understand that when you're looking at the 3D and you're seeing unhealthy behavior or separation in your relationship, when you're feeling disconnected. But remember this. Truth transcends illusion. The third dimension, the physical dimension, is just the illusion of what you hold within. There is no separation, no time, no space, no distance can ever separate you from yourself. And because you can never be separated from yourself, you can never be separated from your divine counterpart, from your Divine Masculine, no matter what it looks like in the 3D. Even if you move on to another relationship, if this relationship feels unhealthy, if it feels toxic, if you're not getting your needs met, if you're not creating what you want, or manifesting what you want for your physical experience, your human experience. Because remember, you get to co-create what you want. If you're not manifesting that, if you're moving on to another relationship, you're still connected to your divine counterpart, because that is part of you. That is the energy within you. Okay? Three of Wands. This feels like a separate message. Let me get a clarifier on that. Yep. I had a feeling that's what it was going to. Six of Pentacles, I saw at the bottom of the deck as well. There is balance and there's reciprocity coming in. But the balance and reciprocity that's coming in is for yourself. You are receiving and giving at the same time. This is balancing the energies within yourself. And as it balances within yourself, that's when you see it. The Pentacles being one of tangibility. A tangible nature, physical nature. As you see that within yourself, that's when you start to see that within your physical world. And that's when you have this Two of Cups that's coming together. Again, look at how they're facing each other. Look at how they're recognizing each other, honoring each other, cherishing each other. And both are naked. Both are vulnerable. This is intimacy. This is connection. And yes, there is a lot of passion with that Knight of Wands there. But with this Knight of Wands, what this feels like is action. Taking action for this connection. Leading this connection. Moving into the next stage of your connection. That's this Three of Wands, moving into the next stage of your journey. It is right on the horizon. It is right there. You are moving into the next phase of your journey. Onto another journey is what I'm hearing. But when I say onto another journey, it's putting the past behind you, where you've been up until this point behind you, in order to travel forward, in order to move forward. This Three of Wands, this person, he doesn't look back. He doesn't look back. Always looking forward, always traveling forward. The past being in the past. And now he's ready to move on to the next part of his journey. To the next journey itself. To the next adventure. The next adventure in this partnership. The next adventure in this connection. All right, you guys. For the hell of it, let's just get a message from your counterpart. What is your counterpart? Male or female, masculine or feminine, doesn't matter. Let's see what your counterpart wants to say to you. It's too many. What does your counterpart want to say to you? I've loved you since before you knew. This, oh my God, and I love you. This is an eternal bond. You were birthed at the same time. You're that one soul. You are that sacred love. You are that sacred bond. That love has and always will exist. But you have to find that within yourself first. You have to trust that within yourself first. Balance that out within yourself first. Because you love each other. That isn't going away. That is the strength of this connection. That is the strength of this bond. I've loved you since before you knew. Truth transcends illusion. Don't look at the 3D. Don't focus on the 3D. Whatever is happening in your physical reality, just believe in the love. And that doesn't mean that you have to accept what's happening in the current reality, of course, but create. You get to create and manifest what it is that you want for your physical experience, for your human experience. But whatever it is that you decide to create, whatever it is that you decide to manifest, know that the love between you and your counterpart, you and your sacred partner, is sacred, will always be sacred, and will always exist, because it exists within you, because they exist within you. The love is and always will be there. All right, you guys. Might be a little bit of a triggering energy update for some, but just reach within yourself. Disregard anything that doesn't resonate with you, anything that doesn't feel good to you, and just look within yourself and feel within your heart space and see what it's showing you. Just keep focusing back on the love. Keep focusing back on the faith. The love is really what matters. The love is really all that truly, truly exists. All right, you guys. That being said, I'm sending you guys so much love, so much light. We'll be back soon with another reading and or a live chat, so stay tuned to the channel, and we'll see you soon. Bye.